Do you ever notice how quickly men switch up when they decide that they don't want you anymore? Like, you are seeing a completely 180 different side of them. And the one thing about men is that they are very selfish and they will always put their feelings first. For example, a woman will stay in a relationship until she's like, you know what, this isn't working. I have tried everything. But a man will wake up on a random Tuesday and in 5 minutes make a decision that he doesn't want to date you anymore. He doesn't want to be with you anymore. All those years, poof, simply because he didn't like the way that he felt in the moment, and they react on how they feel in that moment versus really thinking it through. My point is, men are very selfish creatures, and they will switch up on you when they decide that they don't want you anymore.
If you're a woman, understand that the reason a guy pulls back right after things start getting good is not because you did something wrong. And it's not because he got bored. It's not because men are confusing. We're actually very simple. It's simply because his brain just switched from feeling to evaluating. There's actual psychology behind this called the transition from emotional processing to analytical processing, which is what we use for math. Early on, he's just enjoying you. He's filling it out, chemistry, seeing how it feels. But once it starts getting real, his brain goes, okay, is this something I actually want long term? And that's a completely different question. That's when you see the slowdown, the distance, the overthinking on his end. So it feels like he just changed, his energy shifted. But really, he just started thinking at a very deeper level. And here's the part you need to understand. If a man is fully sure about you, that evaluation phase doesn't push him away. As a matter of fact, it actually pulls him closer to you, and it happens a lot earlier on. So if he's pulling back, it's not timing, it's actually hesitation. All of a sudden, he's starting to evaluate all of the factors of something long term with you. But understand, when a guy really likes you from the get go, that evaluation phase happens very early on, and he already pulled the trigger.
Why men pull away when they actually like you. Check this out. If he's pulling away from you, it's not because he doesn't like you, it's because he does. Let me tell you what's really happening when a man goes cold right after getting close. Sometimes when a man actually starts to feel something, it can trigger fear or confusion. Some men aren't used to emotional intimacy, so they pull away to protect themselves. He might pull away first so you can't reject him later, especially if he's been hurt in the past, because getting close again might be risky. Sometimes his withdrawal has nothing to do with you. It's just his emotional baggage that he carries. You have to give a man adequate time to properly love you. If he feels like the relationship is moving too fast, then he might panic. Some men pull away just to see how you'll react, whether it's with patience or whether it's with anger. They subconsciously test whether it's safe to actually trust you. So these are a few solutions that I have for you. Don't chase. Let them breathe. Attraction grows in space. Stay in your feminine energy, calm, confident, and non-reactive. If he's emotionally unavailable, recognize those signs early and don't try to fix it. Peace and love. Like and follow.
A man pulls away from a good woman when he realizes that he is not going to be able to meet those expectations. And it doesn't mean that the woman is pushing off unrealistic expectations. It means that the man lacks emotional discipline. That man is intimidated. That man is seeing his life flash before his eyes, that this is the woman, this is the dream woman, but I don't have the emotional intelligence and I don't have the discipline to give her what she deserves. So it's crazy because you would think, well, why would he punish himself and leave? Guess what? A man is going to pull away to prevent feeling that shame from failing that woman. When a good woman walks into a man's life, he realizes that there's an assignment immediately, right? And he only can hold up that first impression for so long. Once it's time for depth, it's time for accountability, it's time for consistency and consideration. Once it's time for him to be a man and a good one, that's when it gets real. So a man that doesn't have the capacity, a man that doesn't have the discipline, and a man that's not ready to choose will pull away. So understand, it has a lot more to do with that man's pride and shame wounds and fear of abandonment or rejection than it does with that woman's expectations. Pulling away doesn't mean that you have less value. It means that he has less capacity than you. He can't meet you where you are because you're the statement. You're the standard. So don't fool yourself, because a man only pulls away from a good woman when he realizes that she's the blueprint and he doesn't have the tools to understand the assignment.
You are welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about why men lose interest in relationships. Why do you think men lose interest in relationships? You can drop your comment in the comment section. And men, Please tell us why you suddenly lose interest in relationships. We have creators who will be telling us some of the reasons why men lose interest in relationships. Let the video begin.
Why men lose interest in you. This is your relationship with a man. This rope represents the tension in your relationship. Let's just call it interest. Understand that the tension in this rope must stay equal throughout the entire relationship, meaning if one moves over here, the other one must move. If one moves over here, the other one must move. There can never be a point where it's like this, at least not in a real relationship. Let's pretend like you're over here, right? This is you, right? In the beginning, and this is him obviously, in the beginning of your relationship, right? You're over here and he's over here because he's trying to court you, right? So the farther you push back, the closer he comes to you because he's trying to get you to want him. So during this process, when you're going like this and he's coming towards you, what's he doing? Taking you on dates. He's complimenting you, giving you gifts. He's doing nice things. He's doing everything he possibly can to show you he's the man for you. But what happens after a while? You start to like that guy, right? All this time you're spending with him. You start to give him attention back. You start to give him a lot of attention. You start to become needy. You start to beg for his attention. You start to push him. Why don't you like me? Why don't you do this with me? Why don't you want to blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, he's over here and you're over here. Even though the tension is the same in the rope, you guys have now flip-flop positions. Why is that? All of your pushing and neediness has actually forced him to take a step back to keep the tension in the rope the same. However, when he took a step back and you continue to push, you've now removed his ability to chase you.
Do you want to know why he lost interest? I'll tell you right now, because it all boils down to one thing. Well, more than one thing, but we're going to keep it one for this video. Now pay attention, because if you don't understand this one thing, you're going to waste years of your life chasing somebody who doesn't deserve your energy. Now I get it. You've been talking to this guy and he plans dates. What? He texts you in the morning? Holy shit. Who is this man? Everything seems perfect at first. He makes you feel like you're the only woman in his mind. That's attractive, and you think he is different, and then something shifts. The good morning texts, they stop. Where do they go? The conversation starts getting slower. He used to call you just to hear your voice, but now he barely replies your text messages. What's going on here? So now, like anybody would, you start to spiral. You start thinking, was I too much? Is there somebody else? Why? What happened? Why is he all of a sudden losing interest? Oh, stop right there. Let me tell you something you need to hear, okay? If he wanted to talk to you, he would. Look at how he used to talk to you in the beginning. He was consistent, right? That is who he is when he's interested. If he's pulling back now, it's not about you. It's about fucking him. Let me tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna put your phone down after this video. You're going to stop checking if he's texting you. You're going to stop rereading old messages. That's pathetic. But anyways, go live your life. Go have fun. Go cry if you have to for a little bit. No shame in that. Go do the things that make you you, that make you happy. Go have some margaritas. But here's the thing. After your energy changes, as you are sipping that margarita, I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to see. You're going to look down at your phone and you're going to see a message from him, a half-hearted message like, hey, been thinking about you. But this time you won't care because you've already seen the truth. He's not the man you thought he was. The moment you stop waiting for him is the moment you take your power back. He lost interest? Ha! Who cares? There are hundreds of reasons why men lose interest. You might even be doing a bunch of them right now without even realizing it.
Why do men try so hard just to pull back? Welcome to the Daddy Academy. You have to understand a little bit about the man dating experience to understand this. Men like a little bit of a chase. They like accomplishing. They like new. They like the new shiny things. Typically, not all guys are like this, but for the most part. So when the new shiny toy comes around, they want to get the toy. Okay, they want to win that toy. They want to, whatever they got to do. So they will put in the effort. But similar to the Tinks box theory, which I've referenced before, I call it the bucket theory in my own words. But a lot of guys, right away when they meet you, they know roughly what you are to them. They know if you're just going to be a hookup person, someone who they're going to try to get on those dates and get the hookup, or they know that you're someone who they're going to take seriously and might want to potentially date and kind of see where that goes. But that does have to do with a lot of factors. Like, are they at a point in their life where they're looking for a serious relationship or they're not? These are things that you have to vet out on a date with somebody, which is why I say you have to go out with somebody to know their true intentions. But this is sort of how guys will categorize you pretty quickly off the bat. And this could even just be from seeing your pictures on Instagram, on a dating app. Like, they'll know pretty quickly. Obviously on the date and once they meet you, that could change. But in their minds, they have a bit of an idea off the bat. So when you'll see this, when a guy tries really hard and then pulls back, this is a scenario where he categorizes you off the bat as a hookup girl or just someone just to have fun with, see what happens. And they will pursue pretty intensely. And I always say this is around a month. It takes about a month, and then you'll see this pullback after 3 to 5 dates or so, because they did what they needed to do. They got you on the dates. And then after they hooked up, because that typically kind of happens within that time frame, after the hookup, they pull back. They pull back hard because they won. They got what they wanted. Some of you might say, oh, well, we didn't hook up and he still pulled back after 3 to 5 dates. What's that about? Because you didn't hook up. It's the same thing. It's just the reverse. You didn't hook up, so he's like, fuck, I'm not going to waste my time, keep going with this. She's obviously after something serious. I'm not going to keep playing this game with her. I'll just bounce. And he'll just pull back. He'll leave. This is why I say you have to really observe behavior, okay? Because it takes the first 3 dates, you're still vetting, right? That's in-person vetting. There's vetting over the phone, then there's in-person vetting, okay? So you need to see those 3 dates, see how it's going. Don't give in to the hookup if you're after something serious. I mean, you could hook up, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't work out, but it's more of a risk. And then from there, after 3 dates, okay, now we're starting. Now you observe, you see what's going on, and then you kind of read the scenario from there. A man can only keep up a charade for so long, okay? If there are other options, if he has other options, he's not going to keep trying to get you if he feels like it's a lost cause. I'm not saying as a woman you should play games, but you're just protecting yourself, protecting your peace. If you're after a serious relationship and you want to be a little extra careful here. A man doesn't mind waiting if he wants something serious with you for intimacy. There is a time where it's like, okay, come on, we're adults here. What the fuck's going on? But like, there's a threshold. If you wait around till 2 months, you're gonna cut off a lot of guys who are after just casual, who put you in the bucket of hookup, and you'll lose a lot of guys, but in a good way, because they never wanted to truly get to know you for something serious anyway. But a counterpoint, I'm going to defend the men here, okay? Because I do see this a lot as well, okay? So ladies, I'm pointing the finger at you now. Sometimes the reason why a guy will pull back is if he feels underappreciated and he's not feeling the proper amount of reciprocation in order to continue pursuing. This is the one healthy reason why a man will pull back, okay? It's because he's been putting in effort, true effort, okay? And you know if a guy's putting in actual effort or not. And you are playing games with him or trying to play games with him to maintain control, and you're not giving him the proper amount of reciprocation. Like I say, if the guy's doing all the right things, you got to throw the dog a bone, okay? You're not pursuing, you're not setting up dates, you're not buying him shit, but you have to make him feel as though he's doing the right things, and you are giving him the proper amount of affection, reciprocation, and this is as far as how you're communicating with him. I'm not saying you have to do shit for the guy, but if he's doing all the right things, you have to show him that you like him and that you like the way that things are going. That is very important, okay? You cannot let a guy pursue, and he doesn't really know where he stands with you after 3 to 5 dates. You have to give him a little something. And that's not intimacy. That's not intimacy, but he needs to know that you like what he's doing and that things are heading in a positive direction. If you are playing games being way too cold with a guy, you will lose a good guy that way. You will lose a guy that way. And listen, it's a fine line here. You got to thread that needle, but that's game, baby. That's what you got to learn to do. I'd rather you go a little far with words of like being appreciative and saying things like that before the intimacy, because that could always come later. But like thanking a guy, being really appreciative for what he's doing, like making it known that you like the directions of things, if the guy is doing all the right things, is crucial. Is crucial because you will lose a quality guy that way if he feels underappreciated and he's just spinning his wheels and he doesn't know where he stands with you.
If there's one thing I know about men, it's this. 9 times out of 10, before they are ready to commit to you, they're going to pull away. And this is something I literally always forget when I'm talking to somebody or when I'm dating somebody that this happens, but it is literally a biological, genetic, unconscious situation. And why I say it's biological and it's genetic is because if you go all the way back to caveman times, basically what ends up happening is a man needs to know that a woman is going to be able to survive without him. I'm not talking about hyper independence. I'm also not talking about being ghosted. I'm talking this should be about a day to a 3-day long situation. Anything more than that, and he's probably just not that interested in you. So why this happened or how it happened is probably something along the lines of he stops replying as quickly, maybe he stops asking as many questions, he's not asking you to hang out. And if everything has gone like pretty perfectly up until this point, then you just need to trust that this is a good thing. And why it's a good thing is because when they are in this pull away state, they're basically in contemplation mode. And it's probably unconscious, they don't even know that they're doing it. But right before a man commits to you, he needs to know that you're going to be okay without him in some sense. That he also gets some sense of independence and that the relationship is going to be able to be maintained because both of you are able to handle a little bit of space. So if you start to feel this happen, the best thing that you can do as a woman is just let him go through his process. Don't ask about it, mostly because he probably doesn't even know what's happening. And don't push for answers or get him to talk to you about it. Like, just let him go through his process, and 9 times out of 10, he's gonna come back and probably you'll end up in a relationship in the next couple of weeks. I just had this situation happen, and even I forgot that this is a natural process. Like, this happens all the time. And basically what ended up happening is the person that I'm talking to kind of pulled away. Like, his communication had been really, really great up until this point. And then I felt like, I wonder if this is the thing that's happening. And I'm not even kidding. He ended up texting me. We went back to our normal conversation, everything kind of resumed. And then he came back and asked me a pretty important question. And it was just all of the confirmation that I needed and internally felt was probably happening to tell me that he was taking a little bit of space to evaluate. So don't freak out, don't panic. This is totally normal, and most of the time everything is perfectly fine. But if something feels really fishy or super off, trust that.
Why men lose interest once they've got what they wanted? Because you're not imagining it. It is very, very real. So yeah, men can just pull away. Their energy shifts once they've maybe slept with you, or you've got to a point where you're going to be exclusive, or got to a point where maybe you've expressed your feelings for them, and then their energy shifts and they just pull away. And some of you aren't going to like what I say here, but the truth and reality of it is a lot of men just enjoy the chase, and it is all about the chase. It's seeking validation from you. It's seeking validation to them. It's ego boosting them. It's just all about the chase. And actually, men can be very blasé about it now when they're even talking about it. I mean, even had one guy, he was telling me that he only liked this girl for so long because the chase took so long, and he probably wouldn't have liked her before that. And you just think, this is ridiculous. I mean, obviously I don't understand that mindset, but that's the reality of it. And I know some women will be romanticizing about these guys, thinking they're great, and then they'll be looking inwards that they've done something wrong. But the truth is, these guys are just tossers. They are just absolute tossers. They aren't in it for a serious relationship. They're in it for whatever they want to get out of it, just so they can have that validation and feel good about themselves for, I don't know how that actually works, but yeah. So you've just got to accept it. It's not about you. It's all about them and their emotional, immature needs or whatever they've got going on. But yeah, it says less about you and it's more about them. So let them pull away, because you don't want them in your life. You just don't want them. They're not good people. And yeah, so it'd be interesting if anyone's got some experience of it and what you think.
Men lose interest in relationships if there is no communication, or if the communication is one sided. For example, if it is the man who is checking on you every time, sending texts, calling, if you don't bother to call back, the man might lose interest. Therefore, pull away from the relationship. Then another thing is respect. If there is no respect in that relationship, these men like to be treated like kings. If this man is treated badly, he might lose interest, or he might start pulling away slowly from this relationship. And another thing we shall talk about, extravagancy. If in this relationship there is a lot of overspending, yeah, the expenditure rate is high, then my dear, that man might want, or he might pull away from that relationship, because it might be an inconvenience to him, or he might not sustain that high rate expense for some good time. So he might want to pull away from the relationship since it's not adding anything to him, rather than it's just draining him. And then another thing why men easily pull away, there are some ladies, we are too, I how can I say it? We like arguing a lot. So for these men, sometimes they are not they prefer peace over drama. He will walk away. So please check on that. Thanks for watching the video up to the end. Let's meet in another video. Please subscribe to the channel.